Never Trumpers have lost their minds. It's always really disappointing when someone that you thought was a reasonable person turns out to be completely insane. Enter the Never Trumpers. You can almost understand this back in 2015 before mainstream Democrats announced that it was perfectly fine for somebody to identify as a cat, before it was okay to perform surgeries on pre-adolescent children to make them look more like the opposite sex, and it was perfectly fine for big tech to collude with the federal government in order to censor the American public, and most especially a presidential candidate. Before all those things happened, you could almost understand people not wanting to vote for the bombastic, narcissistic Donald Trump who played fast and loose with the truth. I was not one of those people, but I could understand it at the time. As I've said on this channel many times, although I have always voted for him and obviously will do so again, I personally do not love Donald Trump for the reasons that I just mentioned, plus several others. I don't want to have dinner with the guy. I don't want to read his memoirs. He's not the kind of person I would choose to spend my time with. But this is important. That's completely beside the point. From among the available choices, who will make the better president of the United States? That's what matters. Never Trumpers, you just need to get over yourselves. Stop letting your personal animosity, because that's what it is. Stop letting that get in the way of you doing what is necessary to keep this country from sliding further into socialism. And that's what we're talking about. Never Trumpism was once, at least in my opinion, a well-intentioned, though misguided, point of view, but it's morphed into a derangement that challenges even the Trump deranged Democrats on the left. The Liz Cheneys of the world, the Mitt Romneys, the Paul Ryans, all these people who, and let's just admit it, they're not stupid people, but they've completely lost their minds. It's very possible to be intelligent and still crazy. How can you possibly watch the other side arresting people who walked escorted by the Capitol Police through the Capitol building, being arrested by the hundreds and being put in prison? Prison! How can you watch that? How can you watch the illegal justice system warfare that's been waged against what is clear? Now, after all the evidence is in, a pretty mainstream businessman who bent the rules but did not break them. And newsflash, you don't get rich here, there, or anywhere else without bending the rules. After, through either the most extreme negligence that you can imagine, or more frighteningly, willful intent, allow a bumbling, almost teenager to walk unchallenged through an alleged Secret Service safe zone with a rangefinder, climb on top of a roof with a clear line of sight, and then fire at a presidential candidate. After all that, how do you remain a never Trumper? There's only one possible answer. You made up your mind a long time ago, and you're not going to change it no matter what. That may not be the technical definition of insanity, but it's certainly a symptom. Never Trumpers, it's not 2015 anymore. Things have changed. You need to change with them, and you need to do it now. The alternative is quite clear. Socialism. I mean, look at the records of the people who are now running for president. These people are socialists. Of course, they're not going to come out and say it, mostly, but you can see quite clearly in the things that they actually do, which is really all that matters. So Never Trumpers, stop enabling socialism and get behind the guy who is going to save your ass.